everyone. Deep Gulasekaram. For those of you who don't know me, I teach constitutional law and immigration law here. So thinking about the idea of social justice and what it is that I do with social justice, I guess I divide it into two things. And one is part of my professional competency, and what it is that I research and write about and teach is about immigration concerns and the rights of non-citizens and constitutional questions in that arena. And so one of the things that has allowed me to do is to consult with litigation strategies and people in California, groups in California that are introducing legislation at the state and local levels that are intended to protect immigrants. For example, recently there's been movement in California about reducing, or California stepping in to stop detention of non-citizens in California. That raises some extremely thorny issues of preemption and federalism, intergovernmental immunities, all sorts of boring doctrines that seem abstract and not applicable, but in fact have significant application in this area. And so talking to groups about how to frame their legislation, argue about it, is some part of what I do with regards to social justice. But a very different part of what I do with social justice actually has nothing to do with my professional competencies as a law professor, and actually started when I was a private practice lawyer working at a law firm. I went to work for a law firm doing all of the things that law firm lawyers do, which is great, helped me pay off law school loans, but it wasn't scratching an itch that I had to do something interesting and good for the world. And so part of what I do with my time outside of being a law professor is I help run a nonprofit with some friends who I met in college who are doctors, and we do international medical development, try and create sustainable solutions for target communities so they don't have to rely on foreign assistance and foreign aid when they are rebuilding infrastructure, medical infrastructure and skills training for the future. There's nothing to do with what I do as a law professor, but I will say, for those of you who are interested in thinking about what it is that you're learning here, it is the skills that I learned in law school and as a lawyer that helped me a lot in that job. I do a lot of negotiating with people. I paper all of our contracts, which I have zero business doing as a real lawyer, but we can do it for this purpose. And also just in terms of the ability to write, it involves a lot of copy, a lot of framing of what we're doing, and that's what I'm relied on by my colleagues. I'm happy to talk more about the specifics of that work, but it's taken me across the world and meeting some really interesting people. Right now we're in a project in Madagascar with Operation Smile, trying to build up surgical capacity and access to surgical basic surgeries there so that people don't have to die when they get appendectomies or C-sections or they have broken bones. So a little on hiatus because of COVID, but hopefully soon afterwards we'll be pursuing that again. Happy to talk to people about why I do what I do and where this all comes from. And maybe I'll end with the story. So I was a middle school teacher right after college before I went to law school and I was a middle school teacher in New York City. And I remember I was given an 8th grade class, and the title of the 8th grade class was Social Justice. And I asked the principal of the school what I was supposed to do with that class. And he said, I don't know, do social justice. So there you go. Maybe it started from being an 8th grade teacher.